Welcome dear grade 12 students to this video, which is about writing of module 3b, pages 48 and 49. There are two objectives for today's video. The first one is to analyze the components of a model personal narrative. So we are going to study a personal narrative and analyze its components. The second one is to identify the meaning of the qualities or nouns used in this given personal narrative. If you open your student book, page 48, exercise A, you will find this text. Please pause here for a minute and try to answer the question, what is this riddle about? Choose one of these qualities or words. Once you have finished, please continue. Okay, done? Okay, let's dig deep into this text to analyze it. It starts with a third person pronoun. It naturally refers to something which is not mentioned in the text because it's a riddle. So this is what we call exophoric reference. It is more precious. Precious means priceless, of great value. It's valuable. It's more precious than jewels or gold. It cannot be bought. It cannot be sold. Usually, to get it, you must grow old. The only other way is to listen when told, is to listen to this thing which we are talking about when it is told. So something is omitted right here. Something is ellipted. So this is called ellipsis. Okay, although you may think it's hard, mean, and cold, its true form is kind, warm, and bold. Three adjectives versus other three adjectives. This is what we call the power of three or groups of three. Sometimes writers use this technique to affect the reader more and more, or to be more persuasive, to be more eloquent. Okay, the word mean right here means cruel. It is synonymous to hard. Okay, and this word mean, this adjective, can carry many other meanings according to the context where it is used. So we call it a polysemous adjective. It comes from the word polysemy. Polysemy means multiple meanings to one word. This is in the branch of linguistics called semantics, by the way. Okay, it's the same with the word bold. In this context, it carries the meaning obvious and very clearly seen. In other contexts, it can carry the meaning of fearless. He is bold, he is confident, he is brave, he is daring, etc. Okay, now we have got some expressions like exophoric reference right here, the ellipsis right here, the power of three or groups of three. Now let's come to check your answer. Have you used the word wisdom? Okay, you are right, you are great. Please continue. You have another question right here in exercise A. Why is there a strong connection between wisdom and age? In other words, why does the writer say you must grow old right here in order to become wise? You can pause here, think of an answer, and then let's take this model and discuss it. There is a positive correlation between wisdom and age. Positive correlation means when something increases, when age increases, wisdom increases as a consequence. This is called a positive correlation. Why? Because the older you get, the more knowledge and experiences you acquire. The older, this structure consists of the adjective old, the comparative adjective older, the comparative phrase the older, and when we say the older, the more knowledge, the older, the more, this is called a comparative structure. Okay, these can help you make more sensible decisions and judgments about how best you handle a situation. Another question in exercise A, it is which of the other qualities come with age and why? We have elaborated on wisdom, so what else do you think? Does confidence come with age, or respect, trust, or honesty? Again, pause here, think of your own answer, and then let's take this model and analyze it. It says, confidence comes with age because the more knowledgeable or educated you and experienced you become, the more sure you are about your abilities. Something else, it is respect. Respect also comes with age because the older you get, the more you appreciate people in your life, and as a consequence, they respect you, right? Before reading and analyzing the personal narrative on page 48, let's take this brief idea about a personal narrative. What is a personal narrative and how is it written? A personal narrative is life experience you went through and learned a lesson from it. The voice of narration. What point of view do you narrate this personal narrative from? Generally, you use the first person, the pronoun I for the first person singular, and we for the first person plural, okay? So this is called the voice of narration. How many paragraphs do you write? First, you start with the introduction, in which you introduce the characters, you set the scene, and describe the events leading up to the actual experience or its highlight. And this is called the rising actions. How about the main part? You have a choice either to write one paragraph, 2 or 3. But generally, in the main part, you describe the experience, you describe all the events in the order they occurred. You describe events chronologically, and then you highlight an important point or moment and explain its significance. Then you state your feeling, your emotions, your impressions during the experience. This is important because in the conclusion you mention your feeling about the whole experience. Okay, so in the main part, you describe the experience, you highlight an important point and explain it, you express your feelings during the experience, but in the conclusion, you express your feelings about the whole experience, and you explain what you learned and how you changed after the experience, what we call the after effect. Now, read the narrative on page 48 and choose a heading from these. Okay, pause for 4 or 5 minutes, and once you have finished, check your answer. It should be right, it should be C, a window on the word. In exercise C, we are going to study the given narrative and match the statements from A to G with each paragraph. In other words, we are going to identify the function of each paragraph. The first one, which is the introduction, starts with, as we have just agreed, starts with I, the first person singular pronoun generally used in personal narratives. I came across, I met, or I found. The Global Mamas site, this website under the title Global Mamas, while shopping online. The words volunteer in Ghana immediately caught my eye. Why? That's because my friend Brenda and I had always dreamt of traveling to Africa. We've got to know the reason why these words volunteer in Ghana caught the eyes of the narrator, because it was always a dream. And here the narrator introduced the other character, Brenda, with her in the narration. I started reading about Global Mamas, and the more I read, it should be in the past. So you should say the more I read, the more interested I became in the cause. Okay, Do you still remember the more? The more. This is a comparative structure. Okay, it turned out, it became clear to me that Global Mamas is a non-profit organization. So what is Global Mamas? It is a non-profit organization. And this organization strives, works hard to help Ghanaian women earn a livelihood or earn a living. This is a collocation. How? By helping them create and sell traditional handcrafted or handmade products. I was moved, I was touched by the hardships they face and felt an overwhelming desire, a great desire, to contribute, to participate, to help. What was the situation of Brenda? Brenda didn't need much convincing to join me, which means she was easily convinced. Now the question is, in this introduction, the writer did what? And I'm giving you a hint to help you. Choose two statements. Pause, and once you have finished, please check your answer. In this introduction, the writer introduces the people involved, I and Brenda, and describes the events leading up to the actual experience starting from here. Great, let's continue. We soon found ourselves flying to Cape Coast, which is where we would be staying with some Ghanaian women and working with a team of mamas on a design project for 3 months. Initially, first of all, both Brenda and I felt frustrated. We lost hope. Why? Because the comforts that we take for granted, the comforts that we thought they are available everywhere, these comforts are considered a luxury, are considered something extra in places like Ghana. Nevertheless, but we soon settled into a routine, one that we came to love. We started our work, which we came to love. In those 3 months, we became totally immersed in Ghanaian culture. We took in, we observed, we noticed all the sights, tastes, smells, and sounds of this wonderful place. We lived and worked side by side with Ghanaian women and developed a deep respect for them and an appreciation of their courage, generosity, and optimism. It means hopefulness. When the time came for us to leave, we did so, it means we left, with a heavy heart, with complete sadness. Okay, now, in this body paragraph, the writer, and this hint helps you, choose 3 statements. Pause, take 10 seconds. Okay, done. The writer describes her experience and mentions the first time where her experience took place. It's obvious here. In addition, the writer mentions the emotions she felt while going through the experience, and it's very clear right here. Done. Please continue. In this conclusion, we will see how this experience affected the writer. Let's read. My experience in Ghana made me realize that we all have a responsibility and a role to play in making the world a better place. Something else. Volunteering helped me step out or leave my comfort zone. The comfort zone is the place where you feel safe, and embrace or adopt a totally new reality and perception and awareness of life. So this is, as we have agreed, the after effect. Now openly and clearly, this experience taught me to keep an open mind, number 1. Number 2, it awakened my compassion, my sympathy, and respect for people who persevere, who work hard and continue in the face of difficulties, and increased my tolerance, my ability to accept the cultural diversity, the cultural variety. Whenever I think back to my experience, I am filled with a deep sense of gratitude. If you say gratitude, this is American, okay? I am filled with a deep sense of gratitude or thankfulness. It helped me carve a path for me. To carve a path, it means to choose a way to achieve one's goal. This is a metaphoric expression, one that I intend to follow. One means or refers to the word path, so this is anaphoric reference, okay? One path that I intend to follow. I will, without a doubt, be volunteering for many years to come. Now the main question in this conclusion: what did the writer express? Choose 2. Pause for 10 seconds again. Right. The writer mentions how she feels now about her experience. What else? Exactly, she explains what her experience taught her, which is very clear, right? As for exercise D, please use your dictionary to match these words with their definitions. Pause here for 5 minutes, and once you have finished, please take this feedback. Number 1, when you are not talking about your abilities or achievements, this is called, your answer please. This is called modesty, and you are modest. Number 2, the quality of expressing your opinions clearly and confidently. Your choice. This is called assertiveness, right? And you are assertive. Next, the feeling of admiration for somebody, for his or her attributes or abilities or achievements. This is called respect, and you are respectful. Next, the quality of treating people equally. This is called fairness, and you are fair. Next, the feeling of sympathy for somebody who is experiencing difficulties. What's your answer? Right, this is compassion, and you are compassionate. Determination to continue, okay, to do something even though it is difficult. This is called, right, perseverance, and you are persevering. The patience to accept people, to accept their beliefs, behavior, etc. This is called exactly tolerance, and you are tolerant. The last one, a strong sense of appreciation for what you have or what you have been given. This is called gratitude, and you are grateful. That's very good. One last thing, which of these qualities we have just studied were mentioned in the narrative? Okay, and with your dictionary also find the other qualities used in the narrative and derive adjectives out of these qualities or nouns. Once you have finished, check your work here. These qualities are also mentioned in the narrative. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video.